Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Russ. Since Jennette McCurdy's book is a hot topic right now, I wanted to do a video about Jennette McCurdy and her book. And also, I wanted to go into all of the abuse and the manipulation and the neglect that she had suffered during the time that she was working for Nickelodeon and playing the character of Sam Puckett, who was one of the main characters on the original incarnation of iCarly and also on Sam and Cat, in which she starred alongside Ariana Grande. And the book that Jennette McCurdy has put out is titled I'm Glad My Mom Died, and it is published by Simon & Schuster, I think. And basically in the book she goes over how she at one point was, during a wardrobe fitting, forced to wear a bikini and forced to drink alcohol by somebody called The Creator, which I'm sure everybody can figure out is Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider is a pedophile. Dan Schneider has a foot fetish. He is a very sick man, and I hope that he never comes near any kids, men or women, boys or girls, ever again. The stuff that he did to not just Jennette McCurdy, but also to Ariana Grande, and also to all of the other young actresses that had worked with him, is unforgivable and inexcusable. And Jennette McCurdy's mother did absolutely nothing to intervene. She just let it go on. So I can kind of see why Jennette McCurdy is glad that her mother passed away. Because her mom just let the abuse continue without doing anything. And that is so wrong. That's so wrong. If you are a parent and you hear or see your child being abused, then it is your duty to do something about it. Not just sit there and be complicit and just let it go on. I found an article that I'd like to read from page 6, I think it is, in which Jennette McCurdy had revealed what her breaking point was while working on stuff with Ariana Grande. And it basically has to do with how Ariana Grande was playing charades or something with Tom Hanks at his house at the time. And how Jennette McCurdy says that Nickelodeon had treated her a lot differently than they had treated Ariana Grande, which is not surprising to me because Ariana Grande, she has God-given talent. And she went on to become one of the most successful singers in the music and entertainment industry in the history of the 2000s and the 2010s. She is a Grammy Award-winning singer. She has a lot of very good music. And I just think it's really sad that Jennette McCurdy did not have the same success that Ariana Grande had. But that's how screwed the entertainment industry is. They pick and choose who they want to be popular. And if you're of no use to them, then, well, they'll just throw you aside and move right along. It is disgusting. So, says both Ariana Grande and Jennette McCurdy got their big breaks playing supporting characters on Nickelodeon TV shows, Victorious and iCarly, respectively. But when the two came together as co-stars of a third show, Sam and Cat, on the Kids Network, McCurdy claims she was treated much less fairly than her castmate, who would go on to become one of the biggest pop stars on the planet. Days away from the Tuesday, August 9th, release of McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, the New York Times interviewed the 30-year-old actress and published a snippet from the book. In the passage, she alleges that Nickelodeon encouraged Grande to pursue career ventures outside of the show, but prevented her from doing the same. What finally undid me was when Ariana came whistle-toning in with excitement because she had spent the previous evening playing charades at Tom Hanks' house, McCurdy wrote in the memoir. According to NYT's excerpt, that was the moment I broke. Sam and Cat only aired for one 35-episode season before being canceled in 2014. By that point, Grande had already released her debut album, Yours Truly, from which two singles, The Way, featuring Mac Miller, rest in peace Mac Miller, and Baby I, charted in the Billboard Hot 100's Top 40. I want to thank Nickelodeon for making a childhood dream of mine come true, the Position's singer tweeted after Sam and Cat's cancellation was announced. For being a family to me, for being so accommodating and supportive of my multitasking with my music career, and for, of course, introducing me to many of my fans, however many years ago. But, unfortunately, Nickelodeon never condemned the abuse that Ariana Grande and Jennette McCurdy had suffered at the hands of Dan Schneider, because they were too blinded by profiting off of working with him. It's sad. Right before the show ended, it was speculated that Grande and McCurdy were at odds, supposedly due to the former's salary being higher than the latter's. The two-time Grammy winner took to Twitter in 2014 to clear the air. The rumors circulating about our contracts and our salary not being equal are absolutely ridiculous and false, she wrote at the time, though the tweet has since been deleted. I wonder why it was deleted. Somebody must have made Ariana delete those tweets, guaranteed, at the time. Somebody from either Nickelodeon or her actual management probably did. Who knows? I don't know who's putting these idiotic quotes out there, but I thought I'd straighten it out and try to end this nonsense. Even though Grande seemed to deny any conflict with McCurdy in her tweets, McCurdy appeared to take some shots at her former co-star later that year via her web series What's Next for Sarah. The show featured a character named Gloriana, who wears a high ponytail similar to Grande's signature style, claims to be vegan, like Grande, while carrying a leather bag, and brags about how perfect her life and music career are. Years later, McCurdy opened up on her Empty Inside podcast about what she felt it was like working with Grande during the pop star's sudden rise to international fame. She would have to miss work because she was pulled in all directions, the swindle actress said. She's performing at the Grammys, and I'm, acting on this show with a box because they decided for that week her character had to be trapped in a box so she can go perform at the Grammys. So, Ariana Grande would apparently have to miss work sometimes due to having other things to do, and Jennette McCurdy had to be in a box on the show, like a human doll. That is so ridiculous. To force somebody to be in a box just for the sake of a children's show. Only Dan Schneider, am I right? Only Dan Schneider. It wouldn't have been anybody else. Makes me sick. Since her Nickelodeon days, McCurdy has walked away from acting and notably declined to take part in the 2021 Paramount Plus reboot of iCarly. Can't blame her. In I'm Glad My Mom Died, she details how her career, life, and even physical appearance were controlled by her mother, Deborah, who passed away from cancer in 2013. According to the NYT, McCurdy also writes about what she feels are the indignities of working for Nickelodeon, whom she alleges offered her $300,000 to not talk about what working for the network was like, which she says she declined. So they also offered her hush money. Gross. Very gross. She also alleges how a supervising figure she calls the creator, Dan Schneider, encouraged her to drink alcohol, though she was only a teenager on the show. Nickelodeon declined to comment for the NYT story. Billboard has also reached out for comment. Of course Nickelodeon's not going to comment on it, because they know it's going to fuck their reputation. It's the only reason they're not going to say anything about it. They know that by commenting on situations like this, their reputation will be tarnished and they will lose money. It's all about money for these companies. And that is it. They only care about lining their pockets. They don't care if their actresses or actors are abused. And they never will. No, only the dollar signs matter. My whole childhood and adolescence were very exploited, she told The Times. It still gives my nervous system a reaction to say it. There were cases where people had the best intentions and maybe didn't know what they were doing. And also cases where they did. They knew exactly what they were doing. All of them knew exactly what they were doing. But nobody actually knew how to speak out against abuse. That's the real issue here. That is what I take away from what Jennette McCurdy had said about her time working for Nickelodeon. And I can't blame her at all for quitting acting with the way that the entertainment industry is. I personally could never deal with anything like that. Like, if I had to deal with somebody being abusive towards me, and hypothetically, if I was famous and I had to deal with any kind of abuse like that, I would not tolerate it. I would just walk away. But I do understand that for a lot of people, they just can't. Because stuff like that, you know, some celebrities being on TV shows and movies and stuff is their only source of income, so they can't really do anything else. But I do think that abuse in the entertainment industry needs to be taken more and more seriously. Instead of just being shoved to the side, just so all the actors and actresses and singers and all these people can continue lining your pockets. If somebody's being abused, please listen. Please. Don't just ignore it. Especially for the sake of financial gain. I'm glad that Jennette McCurdy is doing better. And I can't wait to read the book when it comes out. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say. Bye.